Beautiful. All right, while you all get situated, we have, after Wendy is done, so Wendy is from Icon, so I'll kick it off and then she will run this meeting. But before we get started, there is a lovely Icon cake on the back that we all encourage you to stay for after, because this is a celebration. We also have blueberry scones and pink lemonade in honor of their colors of Icon.
I love it.
All right, so Wendy, I'm going to say a couple things and I'll kick it over to you.
Sounds good.
Okay. Can you all hear me? Okay. Okay. All right. Sound good for everybody thank you. All right, so I just wanted to say that this has been over a 1-year journey. A little over a year ago, we all had a different portal that we made the executive decision one night to never look at again, and started this process of interviewing and vetting different types of portals with residents, community life staff, and our project management team from the Riverwoods group. During this time, we all unanimously agreed that Icon would meet the needs of our communities. So, during the past year since choosing that, Community Life and the project management team has worked diligently to learn Icon, create the pages, and ensure all necessary information is uploaded. In April, we welcomed the resident Iconics team. This team reviewed every page, created charts, spreadsheets, tested Icon on every device and every different type of browser. The team found bugs and submitted feature requests, and some that we will all see come to fruition by the end of this year. They volunteered their time, I think more than what I originally told them they would. But in the end, they helped create a portal that I and my team are truly proud of. So as I read the Iconics team members' names, please stand or wave. Harry Malone, Scott Prentice, Ann Hentz, Pat Howard, Lee Evans, Ruth Sladen, Jackie Fogarty, Ken Tentarelli, and Donna McMahon. You will all see these residents in your July trainings. Finally, I would like to thank the Community Life team. Everything you see on Icon was created by them or with other departments with their training. These team members have worked tirelessly to build pages, create forms, understand and create the digital slides, and was the most vocal team at our weekly meetings with Icon between all 3 Riverwoods communities. They will now lead trainings as we implement Icon into our daily lives. What you see today is all because of their hard work. So please join me in thanking Debbie Alonga, Jill Jeremiah, Jill Connolly, Liz Allen, Hillary Murray, and I could not forget John Callahan from the TRWG project management team. He has been in every meeting, every step, hopped on calls when we try to fix items, and we would be lost without him. So thank you, John. So before I send this over to Wendy for your presentation, please save all your questions till the end. Community Life will stay here to answer questions when this is done. I'll be sending a memo out this week just reiterating the rollout of our July trainings and all the features that will be going live on June 30th, Monday. So thank you all for your patience. Thank you for listening to us talk nonstop about Icon, and we hope you love it as much as we do. Go ahead, Wendy.
Great. Well, wow, that's what a fun introduction. I wish I could see you all and I can enjoy some of the cake that they've got for you today. But congratulations, Manchester team here on launching your resident portal. I'm really excited and honored to be able to show this to you today. So my name is Wendy. I'm an implementation manager here. So my job is to just be sure that I can show you how to navigate around the system, show you some of the basic functions, and then also be here to support. But you truly, as Felicia mentioned, you have such a robust, amazing team with Riverwoods that I think you're all going to have ample support wherever you look, but we're also here to support you. So without further ado, I'm introducing you here to the resident portal. The view that you're seeing on the screen today is from a desktop computer. So I am signed in on a computer. You may be signed in on a mobile device or a tablet. Your navigation through this system should be very similar, but I will point out a couple differences as we go along. So the first thing we're going to do today is we're going to walk through our main landing page. This week is what we call our dashboard here at GoIcon. Now on the dashboard, what's great is that everyone's dashboard might look a little different because it's really personalized towards who you are, and you're going to find out how we do that. The first thing you're going to see is that greeting at the top. So on the dashboard, you're always going to have today's date, you're going to have the time, as well as the current forecast. Scrolling down underneath that greeting, we see something called My Shortcuts. So think of My Shortcuts like bookmarking your favorite pages, or if you ever favorite something with a heart, on any type of a system. This is your opportunity as you start to explore the pages on your system to create shortcuts. So the great thing about it is as you get to know some of these different menu items we're going to run through and all the different pages, you may want to change your shortcuts, and it's really easy to do so. All you would do is simply click Edit Shortcuts, and I saw you all have a spa. So if I wanted to add the spa to my shortcuts, I can search for that spa in my search field, or I certainly can navigate by looking at all the different choices. But I'm going to go ahead and click on White Birch Spa, and now it shows up in blue over on my shortcuts page. I have the ability to put 8 different pages on here, and once I have selected those, I can click Save. Now you can come in here and update this whenever you like as you get to be more familiar with the system. But now this shortcut will save me some time if I want to go straight to the White Birch Spa. This will take me to that page, and I'll demonstrate that in a moment. Underneath My Shortcuts, we're going to find latest announcements. This is probably my favorite part of the platform. This is going to be a place where your community can post announcements for you to view in live time. So I love the one I saw today about us going live and telling you all when and where it's going to take place. So you can always click on the announcement to see it larger. And as you will see more populate, you can go to all announcements to take you to the main page where you can see everything. Underneath latest announcements, we have my upcoming events. What's great about your resident portal is you have the ability to create your own schedule by registering for events. And I know that your community does have some events that are required. So I wanted to point this out at the beginning of our presentation, that when we look at those events that are required for you to register, they're going to be in this purple, we're going to see a purple bar with this icon. Otherwise, you will see this register button on every calendar activity and in your resident portal. Now, the reason for that is we want you all to be able to build your own schedule and add activities just to help stay organized and you know what you've got going on for that day. So for me, I registered for the knitting circle. If I wanted a refresher or I wanted to look at some more details, I can click on that event and it will take me to see what time that event starts, who my host is, and I can even look to see who's attending. And we're going to walk through some of our calendar signups in a moment. Coming back to my dashboard, we have recommendation events for Wendy. Now, the next part we're going to look at is we're going to build out your profile. And when we look at building out a profile, we have opportunity to add our hobbies and our interests. So anything that's important to me that I want the rest of the community to know, and I want this system to know, because what it will do, I've gone in and set mine up, and all of my topics like bird watching, bowling, I have activities, I have live music. The system is going to learn about you and it's going to look at all the stuff going on in your community, and it's going to offer you ideas of activities that might be appealing to you. So I mentioned I love to exercise, so it's suggesting volleyball is an activity you all have going on. I also love live music, so it suggested a music performance that you have going on. And the great thing is the system will take your feedback. So if I don't want to go to volleyball and it's just not something I'm ever going to be interested in, I can simply hit this thumbs down and it will start to learn more about me and suggest different things based off how I communicate. You don't have to engage with that, but it is an option for you. Now, if I were excited, like this music performance, I love live music, I can actually register for that. Now remember, this is just to add to my own schedule. And if I click register, it's now going to populate once we refresh to my own schedule. And then finally on our dashboard, we see pending event invitations. What you will see here is if you're invited to maybe a group, you might see something here, but that will be something that we'll walk through when we go through our groups. Okay. The next area I want to walk you all through is the My Profile. So over here in the top right corner, we see the silhouette. And if you're on a tablet or a phone and you're following along, you're just probably going to see that picture and not the word My Account. Once we click on that, we're going to select My Profile. Now from this page, we encourage you come in here and edit your profiles. I'm going to click that edit button. And now I have some basic options to start off my profile. The first thing is you can upload any picture you like. I have a picture of my family here, my son who just graduated from college, so proud mom moment. I can come over here and I can look to see what information's populated. One thing to point out, if you see anything in gray, this is information pulling from another part of the system. So just ask a staff member if you see something in gray or misspelling, just go talk to your team and they can update that for you. But anything else where I have this nice clear field, I can add information. I can populate any contact information that I'd like to be visible. And then right next to contact information, I have another tab called bio/interests. Oops, let's go back to that. I'm not sure why that did that. We're going to click edit again and click bio and interests. Okay, so from this page, I have the ability to share information about me. Anything from your military service to the language you speak, maybe you have a secondary language, to wedding anniversary. And then as we move further down, you're starting to see these toggles. When I have it turned on to blue, that means this information is visible to the rest of the residents in the directory. So if I wanted to list my wedding date and I wanted it to be visible, I would toggle that on to blue. I'm from Colorado, that's where I was born. I have 2 children, so I wanted to include that information. If I wanted to add my cute pets, I've got 2 beautiful dogs who are my babies now that my kids are grown. I can add that to the directory too. So spend some time coming in here. You can really get robust with your profile, even write a biography, let us know more about your life. And the area that I highly encourage you spend some time is this hobbies and interests area. So this information is a place for you to find things that you're interested in. So I selected gardening. I think I talked earlier about music and activities. So anything that interests me, go ahead and you would just check on that box. And if you see it blue, it's going to now recognize that as something you're interested in. Now, if you don't see anything on the list, you can always add that down here. At the very bottom, it says other interests. So let's say I'm a quilter and I didn't see that as an option. I can simply type that in and it will add that now to my hobbies and interests. Anything that I change on this page, you always want to make sure that you come down to that save button and click save. It will give you just an extra prompt to say, are you sure you want to continue and save? And yes, I do. So now I have more information populated into my profile. The other area I want to show you is right under profile is something called settings. Now you all can see up in this corner, I have 2 notifications. These notifications are going to be announcements. So whenever your community posts a new announcement, maybe anytime I might receive a message, there's a lot of possibilities on when you might receive notifications. So I want to show you what those look like, and I want to show you where you can control your notifications. So I went a little quick there, but I'm a silhouette there. We're going to click on settings. And it brings me to this first page. This first page allows me, if I want to change my user name, I can change that here, or if I want to change my password. The other thing I can do is I can click that tab next to account, and it's called notifications. The system automatically has these turned on, and we do encourage you, as you're learning what you'll receive a notification for, as you're learning the system, you may want to just keep this as is for now, because you can come back in and you can make changes. There's 2 ways that you'll receive notifications. One is by email, and the other are push notifications. So for example, when you have an Amazon package that might be coming and you'll get those little pop-ups on your phone. Those are what those push notifications will look like. If at any time you are just feeling like you're getting too many notifications, you can simply come in here and you can toggle that to off. Now, as mentioned, any changes that I make, I always want to make sure to hit save. So when you'll receive notifications, this walks you through when they might come through to you. So new announcements, maybe you posted something within this portal, and we'll show you that area, and you might have had someone who commented on it. So different events will also give you announcements, as well as potentially group invitations. Okay. Now let's come over to some of the fun parts. So we covered my dashboard and we talked about these shortcuts. So now we're going to spend some time walking through the different pages within your system. If you're on a phone or tablet, you may need to hover over those lines to get that menu. And more called announcements. So just as my dashboard had shown me, announcements is going to be where we're going to see that information that your community has shared. So it looks like you all have an upcoming burger night this Thursday. So that is one of the announcements that I will see. Now the great part is, if you remember, there was an announcement a few weeks back that you want to go to, you can scroll to old announcements and look through that way. You're also going to see those populated as those announcements grow in your community. Underneath announcements is our calendar. Okay, so we're going to spend a little time here in the calendar. When I first am logging in, I am taken to this week view, okay? And we're seeing all the activities that are going on in your community. So I want to show you first how you can filter your calendar to be what you want to view, and then we'll walk through the events. But if I come over to this filter button, you can see I have a lot of different selections to choose from. So if I were to potentially want to go to service levels and I am part of independent living and I just want to see that calendar, I can filter that there. Or maybe I want to see a couple of different calendars, I can filter that as well. So I encourage you, come in here first, explore those filters so that when you're looking at the calendar, you're looking at the view that makes sense for you. There's also some different categories you can explore. Maybe you have a favorite leader who does some of the activities. You can look and check for events where that coordinator is leading those. All right, now I want to show you different views. So again, we're looking at the week view, but we can also click this button that says day if we just want to see the events that are occurring today. Certainly have the month view if you want to get ahead of the game and you really want to look through and see what's going on in the entire month. You all never should get bored in this community. What wonderful activities I see on this calendar. Now we're going to come back to that day view so I can show you a little more about how these events are organized and how you can look further into them and register. One thing that I think some people automatically their eye is drawn to are these icons over here. And what these stand for are dimensions of wellness. So the mind, physical, spiritual, emotional. So when we look at some activities, we can assess what dimensions of wellness those are hitting. And if we are interested in maybe looking for physical activity, that icon is just an extra little hint that it's going to be partially physical. But let's see, let's look at tomorrow's calendar. I'm going to go to tomorrow. And if I'm looking through the calendar and I think, you know, it looks, hey, there's an icon training with iPads in the boardroom tomorrow at 11, I can click on that event. And again, I can find information. I find out when it starts. I find who's leading this. And I can, from this area, click register to add myself to that event. Now, once again, that's not a mandatory register. That's just going to show up on my own personal schedule. So going back to that calendar, I've now registered for an event tomorrow. And if I wanted to click this tab right next to calendar that says schedule, you can now see I've got one event for today. I'm going to go to the live music. And then tomorrow I'm going to attend the icon training and the knitting circle. So that's how that register button works. Now I do want to point out live on the calendar, one of those that does require you to register. So as we can see, let's see, we've got a test event here. So we're going to use this. When I clicked on that event, I saw this purple bar over here that did say registration required. And if there is payment, you would also see that noted here. I don't have to go about registering in any different way. Just wanted to point out this one, you do have to register to attend because we see that purple bar. Okay. The next thing I want to walk you through, if you're someone like me and you like to have your calendar all in one place, you want to have a good look at what's coming up on your own personal calendar, you have the option to add your own appointments. So I've got a dentist appointment for tomorrow, and I want to make sure that I have it all in one place. I can add a description, I can even add, you know, directions, and I can click save. Now that event is not going to show up on anybody's calendar but my own. So if I were going to look at my week view, this will be a little easier for us to see. And I look at tomorrow, I can scroll down and I see this green bar showing my dentist appointment. The other place that's going to pull for me is in my schedule again. So now I know tomorrow I'm going to go to my activities and then I'm going straight to the dentist. It looks like I booked it during knitting circle. So that's how that appointments area works if you ever want to add your own personal appointments to your calendar. All right, if you had any invitations to any type of event, it would occur here. But typically that calendar section and our schedule are the areas that we work with here. If you ever wanted to download your own schedule, you certainly have that option with this download button, and you can download and print your own schedule from your home. All right. I think that is very much encourage you all to look at those different events, come in here, explore, click on them, and register if you want to add that to your calendar. Our studio, I'm going to click on that. And it's going to open up this window where I can read who the chairs are. I can see there's 4 current members who are signed up for this. And then the owner, so whoever started this group, can actually, it looks like Carl is the one who had started this, can come in here and they can add some different events. You all can have discussions. So if I wanted to say, you know, what are you going to be painting this week? I can simply add that comment by clicking add, and we can have a discussion within our groups. So groups are really designed for you to find out all the different things that are happening in the community and to be able to join them and be a part of live discussions and interacting within those groups. Today, we won't walk through how to create a brand new group, but I will leave that to your team to walk you through if you wanted to add or create a new group to be explored by your community. You can do that from this page too. Now, if I had joined groups, I would be able to click on that next tab that says My Groups, and it would show me the groups that I'm a part of. Now, all of your groups some of these are public. We did have a focus group that was private, but I think the private groups, I think we're all going to be public here, but if they were private committees or groups, you would receive an invitation. All right, so good things going on in your community. The next area I want to walk you guys through is we're going to go back up here to the dining department. Now, what you'll notice when I click on the dining department, it actually opens up some pages. So each of these areas are going to have information for you. You've got your menus and information, which is just incredible. You can figure out, you know, plan on what you're going to eat and really plan on looking ahead at those menus. And then for your dining points, this is where you're going to access your dining points. I don't have access, so we're not seeing anything for me. If you have a maintenance request, you're going to come over to that facilities and housekeeping. And once you open that page, you will go straight to that maintenance request area to submit your request. The other area I want to show you all is this bookings and something I get to show you all this area today, but these forms won't actually be ready to go or live until the 30th on Monday. And Felicia can correct me if it's after the 30th, but we will take a look at what they're going to be. So any type of form that you've previously, you know, done on paper, had to fill out, that information is going to be located under bookings and form submission. So you've got your shuttle service, and I won't click through all of these, but your guest room bookings, this is where you're going to do all of that, where you're going to fill out those forms and be able to book appointments. They've been working really hard on that. All right. A recently added page that I do want to take you all to because I thought this was fantastic is this Icon user guides. So, you know, we've gone over a lot of information just to get you started, but the team has put in here for you a resource that you can go back to, and it's going to walk you through everything so you can navigate through this portal. So setting up your profile, that's including all those hobbies and interests, tell us about who you are, to looking at your notifications. Do you want to receive all those emails? Do you want to receive those pop-up notifications? And then it's going to say, get involved. So different things that you can do by getting involved and into the resident portal. So this is a super great resource that they have added to your portal. for you to visit. All right, Felicia, I'm going to pause for a moment and just see if there were any questions. I don't quite have that chat open.
Okay. Can you hear me, Wendy?
I sure can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does anyone have any questions? Yes, Margaret. I'll repeat it, so.
Sure.
Yes, I was wondering, since you're talking about printing things out and whatever, it would be really nice if you could design a letterhead for residents to use and let us print it out.
So the comment was for us to design a letterhead for residents. So that's something we can discuss as a community life team. Thank you, Margaret. Any? Yes, Joe.
How do you get into the portal?
The question is, how do you get into the portal? I can actually answer that, Wendy.
Okay.
Every resident received a document in their in-house mailbox with the URL and the app information. It has your username and your temporary password. So I would go to your in-house mailbox, and then if you need assistance with logging in, swing by one of Jill Connolly's office hours. Any other questions before we send it back to Wendy? Yes. Cindy, sorry. So I can answer this too, Wendy. The question is, where do I sign up for a trip if I'm outside of the community? So Wendy showed on the calendar that symbol that was the registration required. That is used for trips and our icon training. So if you see that little mark, thank you, you're pulling it up. If you see this little mark on the top right, that means trips and or our icon trainings. And all of these will include information about the trip you're going to, the price, if there is a price, and so forth. Yes. Go for it. Jim.
Create a personal calendar from the main calendar. And want to enter my medical appointments and so forth on there. And also leave on there activities that I want to participate in. Can I delete from the personal calendar activities that I don't want to, I'm not interested in?
Are you asking about, can you delete events that we created or that you created?
If I pull the main calendar down and made a personal calendar.
Mm-hmm.
And if I want to add appointments and so forth, and highlight the events that were on the original calendar that I wanted to that I'm interested in, and I delete the events that I'm not interested in.
So I think the question is if you're going to create personal, like your appointments or so forth that are personal in the icon calendar, does that then, can you connect it with the events that Community Life created, and can you filter it out so you only see the events you want to attend? Is that the question? So Wendy, yes, you can. Do you mind covering that on the filter part again?
Sure. And actually, when you first started, you said, can you leave? Can you delete or get out of an event? And I will walk through that too real quickly. If for some reason you just want this off your schedule and you're not going to attend anymore, you can simply click on that event that you've already registered for, and you can click leave event. It's just going to take it off of your own personal schedule. But if I were back at calendar, and I think the question was, if I wanted to maybe filter and I just want to see, let's see, only the events I'm attending, I can do that by clicking on that. There's a lot of great filter options as you start to look through those. If you want to just see your appointments rather than clicking on that schedule, I can click on my appointments And it's going to, I think, it should be. Interesting. Let's just try this. I think it's because we are on the month view. Yeah, I'm going to test this one out. But do come into these filter areas, and you can set it out to only view the things you want to see. Now, Felicia, I'm sorry, was there a specific thing we were filtering for?
No, I think it's just we'll deep dive more at our trainings about the different options of filters because, as Wendy said, there are multiple ways to filter based on what you're looking for.
Yes, indeed. Yeah.
All right. Any other questions before Wendy continues? Yes, Jerry.
Two comments, if I may.
Sure.
My first comment is that it makes you a great deal of difficulty reading most of what's projected on your screen here.
Okay.
Too far, believe it or not. Second comment, I feel like I'm participating in my graduation ceremony when I haven't started my freshman year yet.
All right. Well, I did see a little zoom in, but this will also be recorded so you can see it on your own zoomed in personal device as well. This will be available after. All right, Wendy, go ahead.
All right, so I'm just going to show you a few more things, but I won't do a deep dive into the rest of the pages. But I will show you all how it's been organized, and your team then can speak a little bit further after our session here today. But under that Wellness Center, again, if we click on that, we're going to see all these different sub-pages that are options for me. So there's certainly a lot of information for you to start to look through. Our community life departments, this is where we'll find our transportation information as well as our fitness and our resident technology. So this is going to give you those class descriptions as well as any of those monthly newsletters and videos that your team has. We haven't opened a page that has multiple tabs, but just to point out, right now, anything that's highlighted blue is obviously the page I'm looking at. So you can be navigating through these different pages. Now on your phone, they're going to look stacked. So you're just going to be touching the different pages from your phone. All right, Felicia. Resident resources, this is going to just be where you can find any information, a resident handbook, policies, procedures, library, so any of the information that would be great resources for you all within the community located in this area. And then community resources, you've got trails, so anything outside of your building, any community trails, maps, they're going to be locating some great resources for you on this page. So that is going to wrap up just the basic navigation of the resident portal. But I still have a few minutes. Felicia, if I can support you with any questions. Otherwise, you know, I will pass it back to you all and let you start having some fun.
Okay, so we have about 10 minutes left with Wendy. Are there questions you... Yes, Ken.
It might be good to tell people about the community bulletin board.
Oh, great. Wendy, do you mind showing the community bulletin board? I believe it is under, if you scroll down, it's under the resident resources. Nope, the one right above it.
Oh, apologies.
It's okay. And then it's resident bulletin board.
Okay. So this must be, you guys must have an in-house resident bulletin board at the time.
Yeah, so the Iconics did a test group, but can you also show how to start a new one and what this is typically used for in communities?
Yeah, so everyone uses it just a little bit differently. But if you did want to start a new topic within your community, so technology is obviously an example that they put in here. Just trying to get some people gathered or interests gathered on a particular topic within your community. For example, gosh, what would be one that you would say, Felicia, would be probably more geared towards your own community?
Like a hiking group or hiking gathering?
Okay, so let me just go back. I clicked on that too quickly, but from this page, from that resident bulletin, so this is another way for you to just communicate with one another. We're going to click new topic, and it brings me to these two fields. So if I were looking to put together that hiking group, maybe I want to put one together for Saturdays. I can then add a description looking to see if there are any other folks who are interested. So you can populate any information you want here about that hiking group. And once I click create, this is now going to be a post that others could then engage on. So you can see that there's a comment section. So if somebody else were to log in, they can come in here and comment. This is very similar to like a Facebook kind of page or any kind of chat that you've had before, but obviously just within your community.
Thank you. Yes, Priscilla.
You bet.
Do you have to physically go into the resident bulletin board looking for any new topics? Or are there notifications that a new topic has been posted?
The question is, do you have to go into the physical page of the resident bulletin board to see a new topic, or are there notifications?
For the resident bulletin board, you should, let's walk over to our settings because I don't want to lead you wrong. For your notifications, if you posted anything, so that's going to count for a post, and Felicia, I'm going to verify this. But if you had posted anything, any new comment that someone would make, you would receive that notification.
That is correct.
Yes.
But anything new topic, you have to go to the page to see if there's a new topic, and the moment you comment, then you'll start receiving any notifications on people commenting back and forth.
Yeah.
Cindy.
So there's
Great
no-
questions.
No filtering on there at all, or any way to simplify the search?
The question is, is there any filtering or way to simplify the search for the bulletin board? No, the topics will appear in order of creation. Is that what you're asking, Cindy? Wendy, do you mind showing the search bar as well?
Yes, under where we were at.
No, the page index,
Oh, yeah,
or the top search this site as well when you're done.
sure. Yeah, so page index is going to list all the pages that are within your community. So if you were looking maybe for housekeeping, you wanted to find it quickly, you can put in that search option and it's going to highlight those different pages. I can even click straight from there and it will take me to that page. So yes, that's a great quick access if you know what you're looking for and you don't want to go through opening all these sub pages. Perfect place for you to get that done.
Yes, Vern.
We also have a search site up here at the top. So this is again, if I were looking for housekeeping, it's going to have some different information. It's going to populate anything that I had on housekeeping. So I'm going to suggest to you all, if you are searching for a particular page, your page index is where you'd want to go.
Thank you. Vern.
Of course.
Can you search for the bulletin board?
The question is, can you search for the bulletin board?
That's an important one for everybody. let's go back down to here. I'm gonna just put in bulletin. Yep, I can search and then I can go straight to that resident bulletin board.
No, I think the question is, can you search the tech, like it said technology talks
Oh,
to find it?
I see. It is going to just populate them from when they're created.
So the answer, so no, you can't search in the bulletin board. You have to go to the physical page to see what is in the bulletin board.
Yeah,
Pat?
correct.
What Cindy really would like to be able to do, and I'm not sure we can do it, if she wanted to, if, say she's going to Connecticut tomorrow,
Mm-hmm.
next week, is there a way she can broadcast that so that anyone who might want to go, they can go along with you?
So the question is there a way to broadcast to the whole community that they would get an alert about something that someone is interested in going to or doing? And I'm not aware of that at this moment.
Yeah, to the entire community, no. The only thing that's going to ever populate out to everybody and have an alert is going to be from your staff for announcements.
Did I see another hand? Yes, Carlene.
It looks like the bulletin board may get a little crowded. Do they time out after a while?
No, they do have to be, the question was the bulletin board, the topics time out? And the answer is no, they just have to be manually cleaned up by staff. Priscilla?
Could they, it looks like the bulletin board postings are oldest first, which means if there are 50 of them, if you want to see the most recent one, you've got to scroll all the way to the bottom. Is there any way, if my assumption is correct, that they could be done in the opposite direction so that the latest bulletins on the bulletin board are the ones at the top?
So the question was, the bulletin board seems to populate with the oldest bulletin topic first and the newest last. So the question is, can that be reversed so that the newest is first and the oldest is last?
Well, that is a great question. That is something I will need to look into. I don't have a configuration that I know of that we could do that, but let me just take this feedback and see what I can find out for you all.
Thank you.
So, newest topic first.
My thought is, could it be posted by
Makes sense.
date?
Great questions.
Yeah. The question is, could it be,
Area.
the question also is, could it be posted by date if it doesn't go by newest to oldest? Well, the date, so that's an option. I saw Carl.
If you're using a desktop,
Mm-hmm.
and you're on a specific page, is there a way to magnify that page, make it easier to read? I know you can use Shift Plus on your desktop, but that magnifies
Jeez.
everything that's in the browser. But I'm talking about something specific to iPhone.
So the question is, if you're using a browser and you want to zoom in, is there a way to do that without using the browser zoom? And I don't believe so, right, Wendy?
Yeah, like on some of the pages, I'm not sure where you've got like a PDF.
Yeah.
You can zoom in like this way. So anything that populates that has like this little zoom area, you can without zooming in your entire computer.
So a lot of our pages, like memos you'll see, which will be uploaded as PDF, a lot of the other documents, the calendar, you would have to either click into the event or use your desktop Zoom.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what's great about anything that you can zoom in or that is a PDF is you all can print them from here as well.
And download onto your personal computer.
Yeah. That's right.
All right, one final question for Wendy, and then if there's more, we can answer them as soon as she's done. Any more for Wendy? Yes.
If you register for a off-campus event,
Mm-hmm.
and how do you know whether you're on the wait list or there's room for you on the bus or you're
So the question is, if you register for an off-campus event, how do you know if you're 1 on the trip or 2 on the wait list?
That is a great question. So, the way that the system is set up, when your team comes in here and they added this scenic beach drive, and this is one that I have to register for, it shows me there are 6 out of 6 spots available for this event when I go to this event details. If I didn't notice